This is Luke chapter 2, verse 31, which you have prepared before the face of all the people, a light to lighten the Gentiles and the glory of your people Israel. And Joseph and his mother marveled at those things which were spoken of him. And Simeon blessed them and said unto Mary his mother, Behold, this child is set for the fall and rising again of many in Israel, and for a sign which shall be spoken against. Yea, a sword shall pierce through your own soul also, that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. What a thing to say. Yeah, this is a sign. This child is a sign. This child that you have is set for the fall and rising again of many in Israel, and for a sign which shall be spoken against. Why? Because it's going to reveal. And why is that so bad? Because we've been hiding things, dishonesty. We've been doing wrong. And why would we do wrong? There's some gain in doing wrong. Some oppression, some shortcut, some thievery, some lie, something that will get you gain. Just ignoring some things you should do, but that means I can't do what I want. And so that's how man lives, doing what they want, ignoring what God says. That would be the right thing to do. And we ignore it and do what we want to do. And this child is coming. This child is born. He's on the way. He's on the way. What's he going to do? That the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed, so that by the time Jesus is walking in such power that he's threatening the position of those already in power. And they're nervous, they're anxious, because they're those that are in the seats of power. They're not there in a just way. They're trying to maintain it through appearances. They're trying to maintain it through oppression. And so this Jesus, when he shows up in power, it's threatening them. They're afraid they might lose their position, because what's the basis of their position? It's not on solid, stable ground. And so they even want to kill Lazarus, just to remove the evidence that, no, this is indeed someone who should be over us. So they're still trying to manipulate the scenarios, trying to keep it down, they're very considerate of the people. What would the people say? So they can't even answer Jesus' questions. Even in Acts, you see that continuing. They can't take Paul with violence because they're afraid of the people they'd be in an uproar. They support Jesus. They support Paul. And why do they not like Jesus? He's revealing their thoughts. So the woman, they bring a woman to him to try to tempt him, saying, "Oh, this woman was caught in adultery," thinking Jesus wouldn't know what to do. We should stone her, right? Yeah, stone her. And Jesus says, whoever doesn't have sin, you do it first. And what do? The thoughts of their hearts may be revealed. Ooh, their own conscience convicting them. They turn away. Well, I do have sin. And they leave. And starting with the elders. And then everyone else follows suit. Well, you're going to be that honest? Oh, you're not going to hide. You're not going to pretend. Yeah, because Jesus is here. There's a force. There's a power. There's an influence on Jesus that makes people consider and be honest. I can't lie. Things are coming up to the surface, and people are ashamed and, oh, well, I can't throw the stone. I can't be the first one. And they leave. Normally, it's supposed to happen where someone picks up a stone and they throw it, and then everyone else feels emboldened and they throw it, and now she's dead. They stoned her. And yet, why didn't it happen? Yeah, this is usually the way it goes. We pick up a stone. Oh, yeah, we should do that. Even though I sinned also. Oh, but we ignore it. Okay, let me pick up the stone and throw it too. And you got all these stones being thrown. And yet when Jesus is here, saying, oh, who among you doesn't have sin? And they deeply consider. They're provoked. Yeah, it triggers them to, yeah, they feel exposed. With Jesus, there's an exposing. We feel exposed. We're naked before God's eyes, and God's right here. And we see that he sees. And so that's our problem. When we sin and when we act in the ways that we do in darkness, in Psalms it says, yeah, we think God doesn't see. We think God isn't seeing. And so it says, a sword shall pierce through your own soul also. Even, it's talking to Mary. Yeah, even you. No one's going to be spared. No one. Through the hearts of everyone. Every heart. So this is the time we're in. God has come. He's come closer. And we're in the end times. This is the final phase, the final chapter. Things are coming to a close, and he's giving us a fair warning. He's raising the alarm and letting us hear, hey, you're very close. Get things right. Hey, it's not the time to continue in your dishonesty, because you're about to be found out. Yeah, you're about to be revealed and exposed. So by faith, we hear that and whoa, we get the fear of God and start getting our life in order and start repenting. And that's what happened when John the Baptist came. People wanted to ask him, so what should we do? How should we live? And he was telling them, and they were doing it. Saying, oh yeah, exact no more, and be content with your wages. And they're receiving this instruction and making the changes in their lives. They're coming down to the river and being baptized, committing, recommitting, turning their life around, saying, I know I've been living in sin. I know I've been doing the wrong thing, but I want to do right, and I'm going to make a decision to commit. I'm going to make a decision to not let things be anymore, not make excuses anymore. So that's why we become philosophers, because we explain away, we try to hide the wrong that we do to make it appear right. So you do that with words. Oh, it's not really what it actually is. And so we confuse ourselves, because God sees, oh, you like that? You do that? You want to use your brain for that? Your mouth for that? Okay, so you're a liar. So then now let lies come out of your mind, of your mouth. And so we're confused about life. In reality, we have explanations of it that are wrong, that do not profit us. We've inherited lies, and it keeps on going generation to generation, passing it down, saying, we're teaching, son, this is how we live. We lie, and we cheat, and we steal, and then we lie about it. But make it always seem good, because God made us in a way that we can't accept. Yeah, we all have to pretend to be good. We have to be hypocrites to do evil. It's very hard for man to say, I'm a bad person doing bad things. It already makes them want to change their life. Well, if I'm bad doing bad things, I don't want to be bad. So that's laziness, right? That's there. They can acknowledge that much. I don't want to be bad. but I do want to do bad. I don't want to be identified as bad, because bad things happen to bad people. But I do still want to do bad. So let me do the bad and see if I could cover it up. And so God is warning us, saying that is not an option. That is not successful. That does not prevail. That does not work. There's no way, no road, no show, no nothing. Nowhere where that succeeds, because God is everywhere. God is the judge. There's no other judges. There's no other courtroom. It's going to be before God that you stand. So how ought you to live? There's only one way, according to the truth. Submitting to Jesus Christ, following him, listening to what he said, surrendering to him, and simply doing what he said. But man has many inventions. We keep looking. We keep looking for inventions. We keep looking for AI, for another computer program, for another technology, for another country, for another vacation, for another relationship. Anything else? Anything else? That woman was exhausted. Yeah, 5 husbands. And how come he's not your husband? I'm done. Yeah, she tried to find something else. Just not God. No, not God. I don't want to do right. It feels oppressive. I don't want to deny myself. No, I want to do what I want, get what I want, and get satisfaction. No, you can't. You can do what you want, think what you want, say what you want, and get temporary satisfaction, but it'll always have that sting at the end, that dissatisfaction, that disappointment. Initial pleasure, initial hope, initial thinking, initial feeling good. It's going to work. I'm going to get gain. I'm going to open my business. It's going to be well. Disappointment. God made it so because you're not doing what I said. My way is secure. Yeah, I call it a foundation, a rock, a stone. This is sure. It's a sure habitation. It's a sure shelter against when the uncertainty comes, the anxiety comes, the flood of emotions, the flood of enemies, the flood of the weather, the tsunamis. What can withstand that? You see that, man, we cannot withstand it. We've fallen. We fall to these psychological problems, physical diseases, societal collapse. You see that we just fall because we don't follow God. And yet in the midst of that fall, there's the remnant. There's still few that did not bow their knee to Baal. It's possible, no matter how bad it gets. If you submit to God, bow your knee to Jesus Christ, submit to him, commit your ways to him. Yeah, the woman is beyond all sense. She had one piece of food left. I'm just going to eat this, and then we're going to die. And God says, give me that. And she gives it. This food, it prolongs your life, and yet giving that up to the prophet of God who asked for it, it extended her life. She was just going to eat it and die. Those are our options as man. Just this little meager little thing that does very little for you. You accept that. You see that. You can eat it. It's right in front of you. It's in your hand. Or give it up. There's no way that not eating this, giving this up, could lead to an even more extension, a greater extension of your life. How can it? And yet it does. Because God said, because that was God's instruction. And she just did it. She just obeyed. And this thing that doesn't make sense, how is it that you give up the last piece of bread that you have, the last bit of food that you have, and you get to live? No, you're supposed to eat and live. No, we eat and live. That's why we eat and die. Because we don't put God in the equation. We don't look to God for hope and trust. We trust this, so it only goes as far as this will take us. Just one last day, eat it, and that's all the food we had. And now it's just a fearful looking for of death. We're going to die. Well, that was good. That was good. I can't taste it anymore, though. That was very short-lived. And now I'm going to taste death. But she made an exchange. She said, no, instead of doing that, let me give this. Let me obey. Let me deny myself. Let me give this to this prophet. And the prophet lets her have more bread that multiplies. Yeah, no, so you won't die because you obey God. You entered the right door. You found the way. Yeah, break your alabaster box. What's precious to you? What was so valuable to you? Break it. She broke it. Break it. Why do you break it? No, just give the thing. No, we're going to break this. Break these things that we hold precious. Break these idols. Break these things that we give value to, that we give our heart to. And we see that indeed that was the case, because when she broke the alabaster box, people were offended. They said, "Oh, that's like breaking my heart." No, the physical things, no. Yeah, they said, they were not happy. They were upset. Thoughts arose. Well, better things could have been done with that. That's not how you use that. That's so offensive to me. We're angry. We're upset. That doesn't make sense. That's not the purpose for it. You should have rather, you don't do that with that. But what was God's response? Oh, you did well. This is going to be remembered. Oh, everywhere where they talk about me, they're going to talk about this. This is to be remembered. I'll remember you. Nehemiah said, or Ezra. Yeah, maybe Nehemiah. He said, remember me. Yeah. We want to be remembered by God. We don't want to be forgotten. We need God to remember us in the time of trouble, when we cry, so that He hears. You want Him to love you to the point that He hears your voice and responds. Oh, I know Him. Oh, yeah, like a baby that cries and the mother rushes. Oh, my baby. That's his cry. Yeah. Nehemiah. That's the last verse, though he says it a few times. Chapter 13, verse 14. Remember me, O my God, concerning this, and wipe not out my good deeds that I have done for the house of my God and for the offices thereof. Yeah, you want to do good, and God will remember you. And if you've done bad, you can ask God to wipe out the bad if you commit to good. There are people who are so deluded, in delusions, they live in delusions and lies, that they think they can not commit to good. They can keep doing bad and keep asking God to wipe out their bad things, though they're not committed to good. They're committed to their evil. And they treat God like that, as a fool, as if they can play God, as if they can deceive God. Oh, forgive me. Oh, forgive me again. And see, they're confused because they see the righteous doing that, because we also do wrong over and over again, and we are forgiven over and over again. But the wicked don't understand what they're seeing. The wicked see that and think, oh, I can take advantage of that. So I can keep doing evil and I'll keep being forgiven. Wrong. How is that wrong? Because he's doing it. He's doing wrong and being forgiven, and doing wrong and being forgiven. Yeah, but he's doing good. He's doing good. And oh, I did something wrong. Yeah, he's running and trips, and then he gets back up. Running, and maybe stumbles and gets back up and runs, loses balance and runs. But he's running to the finish line, to Jesus. And people are drunk. People are drinking and staggering and going forward and backward, and they're not running. And they're stumbling, and they get up and stumble. They can't run. They can't do right. And they want God to forgive them in their drunken stupor. Yeah, without committing to do right. Yeah, they want God to treat them like pigs. Wash me. Let me go back in the mud and come out. Wash me. Let me go back in the mud. You're doing that on purpose. You're doing that on purpose. You're not trying to stay out of the mud. So God calls people, classifies people. Oh, that's a dog. That's a pig. Don't give pearls to them. No, they're going to rend you. They're going to scorn you. Yeah, no. Who are the righteous, the committed? I'll forgive them again and again and again. I'll wash them. My blood is for them. I'll be merciful to them. I'll remember them because they're always remembering me. All their thoughts are of God. Yeah, and they're renovating their house, their internal, their insides, their guts, their bowels, and scraping out all the things that they got from the world. They hate the world and the things of the world. They hate sin. They hate what I hate, and they're trying to make the changes. They're cleaning. They're turning around. What vehement desire, what clearing of yourselves. Yeah, they're trying to make sure that is God everywhere, inside and out, cleaning the cup inside and out. Those are the ones that God remembers. So Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 31. And for the wood offering at times appointed, and for the first fruits, remember me, O my God, for good. Oh, wow. Yeah, look at verse 29. Remember them, O my God, because they have defiled the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood and of the Levites. Man, yeah, don't forget anything, God. Remember me for good. Remember them for evil. Oh, he's not going to forget. Now, I remember what you did. You know, that's the horror movie. I remember what you did last summer. I remember. What? Yeah, we buried the guy. What? No, your sin will find you out. That's very real. That's very real. You did evil. You try to hide it. You don't confess it. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming after you. It's back. It's here. Yeah, you try to kill me. You try to bury me. You try to have me forgotten. But God remembers. Yeah, God said, I'm terrible. Yeah, I will terrorize you. The harrowing. Yeah, it turns up the ground. It looks like a very violent machine. And yet for the righteous, for those that desire God, yeah, no, tear me up, God. Tear up my ground. Break up my fallow ground. No, we invite it. We say, God, do it. Thresh it. Yeah, process me. So that in the process of time, I can come out good before you, gold before you, fruitful before you. And those that resist it, yeah, it's like, oh, this hard stone, this soil that refuses to be harrowed, plowed, processed. No, I don't want to change. No, they hold on, they're stubborn. And don't change me, don't touch me. No, that belongs there. Yeah, sometimes people try to help out. You might have people clean up, clean your house, clean your room. But they don't know your stuff. They don't know. They can kind of match shapes. Oh, this belongs here. This usually goes on a shelf, so let's put that on the shelf. And they could clean up. And it could help you out. And yet it could be kind of aggravating or scary. So no, don't move that. No, now I don't know where this is. And no, this is something I frequently access. So I leave that on the table always on purpose. Oh, but it's on the shelf. But overall, it'll have a good effect. It'll help you out. Yeah, it was cleaner. That's nice. Yeah, just find the stuff that you can't find. Put the stuff back that you need to be at easy access. But generally, all the other stuff, yeah, it was put in place. The things on the floor, the things on the wall, the things in the corners. So that's going to help you out. But yeah, you could say, no, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Leave everything the way it is. You could get upset. I don't need any help. And you won't get help. Yeah. There's this funny scene I was thinking about, remembering yesterday or 2 days ago. But basically there was a character in the movie. It was a little child. And I think he got a present. He got a little camera. A Polaroid, I think. He got a Polaroid camera for a present. And then he started to take pictures, obviously. But what did he take pictures of? Throughout the whole movie, it's a movie that was about like all these different characters in a large family. So it's showing, you know, the brother, the wife, the mother-in-law, the uncle, the grandfather, the busy businessman, the another uncle and aunt, you know, extensive, a lot of people and families, and portraits of personalities. And so as the movie is going through that, shifting from scene to scene, showing what these people are doing, what they're doing, how they're managing their conflicts and how they're getting along and how they're managing these problems in life and struggling with their own selves and all that, you know, just kind of a mosaic of life, right? Of, oh, look, people, life, situations. They're going through that. And as they go through that, this child is just meeting these people. And you know how children are. Sometimes you just bring a child to a dinner party and you say, sit right here. Or to a business meeting, and you say, sit right here. And the child might just tag along and just be there. And they're usually kind of this observer. They just kind of wait for, is the lunch meeting over yet? Is the business meeting over yet? Or they're tagging along, riding in the car. So sometimes, yeah, that's just how the children are operating, just tagging along, just being there because they have to be there. But he's got this camera. So he's going to play with that. And what's he doing? As we follow the movie through all these people, the child's there and he's taking pictures of everyone. But it's a little strange. People don't understand what the child is doing. The child keeps taking the pictures of people's back. When their backs are turned, he takes a picture and then he gives it to them. And everyone's receiving this picture of their back. And everyone's confused. Like, why? Okay. That's not flattering. That's not normally what people take pictures of. People usually say, look over here. Say cheese. Take a picture and give it to them and say, oh, I look good. But this child, without permission, just, oh, I got a picture of your back, and gives it to them. Here you go. And everyone's like, okay. And towards the end of the movie, they ask him, what are you doing? Why do you keep giving people pictures of their backs? Like even strangers, he just met them, and he's like, oh, I took a picture for you. Here you go. And it's their back. And he's doing this to everyone. So they want to know, what are you doing? Why do you do this? And he said, I'm trying to help people out. I'm trying to help people because the back is the only part of the person that they can't see. So I can help them see. that was, you know, very kind of endearing, like, oh, wow. And then, you know, the depth to that, what it's actually communicating, right? What the movie is communicating without saying it. Yeah, because it's about people, and it's about, you know, how stories are going to go, like improvement, right? Things are going to get better. And this child is showing, Yeah, look at all these people. Look at how they see everyone else's problems. Look at how they have a problem with everyone else. Look at how they have emotions about the situation, and yet they can't see themselves. They can't see themselves. Right? They don't know, oh, it's me. It's me. If I change me, then this would change. And they don't have a view on themselves. And this little child is confronting them with that. Every person, look, you don't have a full view of yourself. Look, there's part of you that you cannot see. I see it. And no one's pointing it out. But here you go. You can see it. Look, the part of you that you cannot see. Yeah, God's going to help us out. He helps us out. Iron sharpens iron. A sword pierces through your heart also. Yeah, who can submit to that? I'm going to tell you things. But how are you going to handle it? Do you know how to turn this into good? God can. Even Joseph said to his brothers, oh yeah, you meant this for evil, but God turned it into good. That's what God can do. If you submit to God, if you belong to God, if you agree with God and walk in his ways, that's what God has to offer. Man, a deliverance from a life of disappointment after disappointment after dissatisfaction. We can have satisfaction. We can have Ephraim. We can have Manasseh, Ephraim, Isaac, right? Forgetting the toils, forgetting the troubles, prospering in a strange land, and laughter. Sarah said, I'm laughing now. Now I'm laughing. I denied it at first, but I can openly laugh. Wow, God has been good. That's the end that God wants to bring us to. We can see that end even eternally. What? Eternally. Wow. Right? We didn't look for it. And God said, yeah, but I have all this for you. This is out of my storehouse of love for you. If you can love others, love each other, if you can follow in the directions and the steps that I took, deny yourself, crucify yourself for others, give yourself your life as a ransom for others, esteem others higher than yourself. I know it's hard. I know it feels like you're dying when you do that. I know it's going to require that as you do that, but can you do it? I did it. I conquered. I overcame. Here's the baton. Do it. Show it. Shine. And pass that on to the next generation. Tell your children about me. Think about me. Remember me in everything you do and everything you say. That's the only way. Live like this. Can you live like this? Yeah, so the sinners, the poor, the maimed, the blind, the broken, the distressed, they're coming to the river. They're coming to John the Baptist saying, instruct us. Give us instruction. We will follow it. We're departing from my own thinking, from my brain, from my heart, from my deceitful, distracted, wicked heart. No, give me instruction that's good from heaven, from your mouth, from the man of God. Give me instruction. Let me follow. Let me depart from myself and go to God. That's how we go to God. Instruction after instruction, obedience after obedience. Those are the steps that ascend so that we can excel, so that we can be like the Israelites when they went to Egypt. Yeah, they grew exceedingly. They exceeded. Oh, you had bounds, you had limitations, you had curses, you had limitations on you. But yeah, look, you're going to be brought in to a good land. You're going to be brought into a place where you can flourish and abound. And then they're going to be delivered from Egypt and go toward the promised land of milk and honey. So God keeps doing this. And God has that available for us in this generation. But who can hear it? Who's the remnant? Who will hear and go?